Hi, everybody. Thank you for watching Divine Encounters. Welcome back, Seekers. It's another Wednesday night, another supernatural story time now on our new time. I am your hostess, Dominique Rivera, the Oracle of Apollo. And make sure you guys like and subscribe so that way you get notified every time I'm live streaming. And make sure you stay tuned. We're about to get into something spectacularly supernatural. So we're going to be jumping in that show any second now, waiting for our guest, who will be Jen Mitchell today, sharing her supernatural story time. She is a star seed. And come right back. Bring your water. Bring your high quality H2O. Yourself, anybody else you don't see, everybody's welcome, anyways. This is all inclusive.
It's paradise inside of our hearts, and it feels so nice to pray in the dark. Beings of light, see who you are. 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 See who you are.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Divine Encounters. So nice to see you seekers out there. What's up, Liz? Saying I look like a Greek goddess today. Thank you so much. You're so nice of you. That is hilarious because I feel like a Greek goddess today. And it's not even the headdress. Like, I just feel it. And yeah, I might be talking about that in a few minutes. I just discovered something and I'm just like, oh my God. My guest is still not here. So I don't know if she forgot she had a time commitment today or if she forgot what time it would be today. So we're going to see what happens. I don't know. Anything can happen. It's live TV. This is what live TV is all about. But I'm just going to talk about it right now. I'm going to talk about it right now. You guys already know. Today's show, we're going to be jumping into what's good. It's the angel number of the day. 1, 2. We're going to be doing, I don't know why I'm so aggressive. We're going to be doing today. Settle yourself, Oracle. Settle yourself. Okay. We're going to be jumping. My mouth is salivating now. We're going to be jumping into that, the mindfulness experience, and then shortly after that, the supernatural story time. If our guest doesn't show up, I'm just going to talk to you about some very interesting things that have happened to me recently. But they were mind blowing to me, so I know you guys are going to receive them in the same way. And now, with that being said, at the end of the show, we're also going to be doing a collective group reading. So make sure you guys hang out for that at the end of the show. We're going to pull some cards and see what the energy of the week is. But let's start off with the angel numbers. But I got so much to tell y'all. I can't wait. So let's just do numbers first before I just ruin the whole order of this show, which we all know there's an order. So we need to jump in there. Okay. And how's everybody doing? And to that I say, what's good? Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so angel number today, 879. So angel 879 is the vibrations of the 8, of the 7, and of the 9. It relates to personal authority and self confidence, discernment, higher wisdom, achievement and successes, practicality, considerations, giving and receiving, and serving humanity. Number 8 is also the number of karma, the universal law of cause and effect. Number 7 is the number of inner knowing and understanding of others, spirituality and spiritual awakening, compassion, study, learning, education, deep contemplation, empathetic and psychic abilities, dignity and refinement. Number 9 denotes endings and conclusions and releases and relates to the universal laws. A higher perspective and expansive viewpoint, strength of character, nonconformity, leadership, and leading life as a positive example for others, altruism, humanitarianism, and lightworking. Angel 879 is a powerful number sequence that tells of personal strength, spiritual enlightenment, manifesting your desires, and serving humanity in humble yet powerful ways. Angel 7879 encourages you to pursue and to live your divine life purpose and soul's mission. Know that you are on the right path of living your destiny as only you can. Be assured that your desires are manifesting and your monetary needs will be met along your path. Put your spiritual gifts to good use and shine your light to illuminate the way for others to follow. Angel 879 indicates that your thoughts, visions, and intuitive knowing about your life purpose are guiding you in the right direction. You have been following divine guidance and putting your spiritual knowledge and wisdom into practice as a light worker. Be respectful of yourself and others and choose to be a positive example of how to be. Look to ways of expanding your values, principles, and inner truths, and you will find that others will follow your lead. So this is the number of today. How do you guys feel about today's number? And thank you. My energy is great. I appreciate it. I've been doing a lot of work lately. Wow. It's been insane. I've been working on timelines and past and future and now. And I feel like I've done in 4 days like a year's worth of work. And I could feel it in my soul, just deburdening myself over of the last year of my life. And it feels really good in my body. So go out there, meditate. It shifts you. It helps you live longer, makes you happier. I see you, Robert Brooker, sending you prayers and love and light. And you can't wait either. That is awesome. All right, so that is the angel number for today. We're going to be shifting your energy. You guys are feeling mine. So let's go ahead and shift yours. And why do we do this mindfulness moment? And I'm sorry if I always look like I'm hunched in this, but I'm on the world's most uncomfortable ottoman. And I have no idea how to remedy this ottoman. I just don't. So anyways, we're going to be shifting your energy. And I'm going to invite you to take an assessment now of where you are at energetically from 1 to 10. 1 being this is the least amount of energy, 10 this is the most amount of energy, and then drop in the comment section below basically where you are. And while you're checking in, if there's a feeling word with that. So it can be any word that you're feeling in this moment. Tired, happy, relaxed, at peace. But let me know in the comment section below where you are at energetically now. Okay, so for me, I'm a very strong 9 today. I feel like I'm in flow. I feel detached. I feel loving. I feel excited. I had a scare the other day where I almost got smushed by a car, and it kind of made me like come back to appreciating life. Yes, I needed the reminder. Okay, and Liz says she is at a 7 and she's feeling relaxed. Good. And so what we're going to be doing, the purpose of this is so that you guys understand that at any point of your day, you can stop and breathe for 1 minute with intentional focus, with strong focus, and it's basically going to shift your energy either way. So with that being said, if you have intentional focus on something, you're going to move in that direction. Ooh, and as I say that, I can feel the energy in me moving. Ooh, it feels nice. Ooh, all right, I'm feeling myself. Let's get into the mindfulness experience. Somebody better. Why do I have a microphone? Somebody take this thing away from me. Okay, we're gonna be closing our eyes now. 60 seconds on the Klizak. Big breath in. Together, collective breath, but make sure you're not breathing from the chest. You're breathing in from that lowest part of your belly. We call this a Buddha breath. Big Buddha breath here. Let this go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And exhaling that breath outward. Another big breath in through that big old belly. We're not even thinking about it right now. We're just breathing into it, enjoying that it holds air and that we can use it, and that it's a healthy abdomen to push and pull energy and push and pull air. And then I want to add, visualize an inner smile in your world today, inside of you. Visualize an inner smile inside your heart and just notice how that feels, just you smiling inside of your heart. One last breath in. Give yourself a moment of gratitude for being here. Anything that you're grateful for, put that out into the universe right now so that we can have more things to be grateful for. Yes, feel into that. And then invite yourself back into your body, back into the here and the now. Opening your eyes. And then let me know in the comment section below what you're feeling. What you're feeling. Did you shift? Did you feel hot? Did you feel cold? Did you feel tingling? Did you feel hungry? I don't know. What did you feel? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you're watching this on the replay, hashtag seeker. And I would like to know. And what is your new number? Please and thank you. Because I would love to know how this is shifting you. That is beautiful. Just showing love and support. Thank you, Three Faces of Eve. I appreciate you. And so, so let me know in the comment section below. I'm thinking for next season, we're going to be shifting this mindfulness moment into something a little bit more exchangeable, but we'll see. All right. I felt warmth in my chest. Go ahead, Liz. That's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And Robert Brooker's up to nice middle ground. He's number 5 and he's feeling safe. That is the goal here, Robert. I see you. Thanks so much for being here. Okay, so my guest has not arrived. I am unsure why. Who knows? So we're gonna do an impromptu story time with moi. 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 That's funny because it sounds like you're going moi, right? With myself. So I wish I could tell you guys I get less weird in person, but I don't. And the thunder came down. Okay, so here's the tea. I'm leaving next week. That's the tea. The tea is super. We're speaking light language right now. I'm leaving next Wednesday. So I might pre-record for next Wednesday. Not 100% on that yet. But, okay. But what I'm thinking here is I'm going to go to Romania next week. I'm going to start in Switzerland. And then I'm going to go to Romania. And then what I realized today was, and don't ask me, listen, you guys, I am not a geographical person. I know you guys see me traveling all over the dang world, but let me tell you how ungeographical I am. I am not. You cannot ask me where something is on the map and I'll be like, yeah, it's right there. I would definitely not know it existed. Definitely not know where it's located. Yes, I am going back. I'm going and I'll be back at sometime in August. But this is what I realized today. It's a 15-hour ride from Romania to Greece. Guys, Greece is like my number one place I've wanted to go to because I'm the Oracle of Apollo, right? And I have been scared shitless, I'm going to say just like that, to go. And the idea of going to there now, earlier when I thought about it, made me almost cry and start shaking. And I will give you the kicker on that why. First of all, I'm scared of everything. You guys are so loving. You guys, oh my God, Oracle, you're so brave. You're so courageous. Blah, 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 blah. I'm scared of everything, y'all. I'm scared of everything. But I'm going to do it anyways. Period. All right. Period. We will find a way. And if there is not a way, we will make a way. And that is how we live our life, because our life and our time span is super, super limited. Okay. I was afraid what would happen to me once I touched the soil in Delphi. This is a legitimate concern. Okay, when I went to Mount Shasta, I got hit with lightning. When I go to certain power ley lines, I am just encapsulated by the energy, and some of it has not been pleasant. No, not at all. So I have actually had a real physical concern of what would happen when me, the Oracle of Apollo, touches the soil in Delphi. Now, mind you, I think the irony is that I live in Philadelphia, right? Delphi. And that I'll go there. So when I went to my trip to Italy, I did not go to Greece. And Spirit was like, no, it's not time for you to go. So I did not go. Fine. It was not the time. And honestly, I felt a little relieved by that because I felt like such an intense ask of me to go there and touch soil there. Yes, I am gonna go have a spiritual experience 1,000%. In Romania, there are these ancestral what my host is calling old ladies, which pertain all of this energy, all of this wisdom that I want to go download. There's these ancient pagan circles made of stones, kind of like Stonehenge. And you guys, if you watch me a few seasons back, I went to Stonehenge and I talked to you guys about that experience. Kuan Yin appeared to me at Stonehenge and the whole thing lit up with violet fire. So I want to go see that. I want to go see some castles, but I didn't know I was so close to Greece. And then there's like all these other places right next to Romania that I can get to. And I was just like, oh my God, my head almost exploded today. There's like 5 countries like right there. And I was like, do I need more time? Do I need more time? I might need more time. Okay. So I'm going to try to use my time as effectively, efficiently as possible to get to as many of the countries there as I can, but I'm going to take you guys with me. I'm going to make sure that the hostels that I stay at have internet, and I will take you guys with me, and I'm going to update you guys week to week. So there won't be probably any story times from other people. All the story times will be from me and my experiences during that time for the next 2 months. So I hope you guys are excited. Surprise. Oh man, I'm so excited about that. Okay. Now let's get into the actual story time. So I know, so excited. And of course, if you're on my TikTok, and if you're not on my TikTok has places all around the world. I'm going to write it out right here. All around the world where you can feel different sacred places that I've been to, and secret different places that have a lot of energy and magnetism. And you can go check it out on my TikTok and feel it for yourself. And of course, there's like spiritual things on there and a couple goofy things because I don't like to keep, just the same. So go check it out. Let me know how you're feeling about it. And there's a lot. There's definitely a lot. Go binge it. You'll have fun. All right. Oh, and there's also tests on there. It's for your intuition growth and development. Yeah, I can't say my heart is excited. Woohoo. Let's go. Yes, that was my point. That's why I laughed when I saw this comment. I was like, oh, she don't even know. I'm wearing this there. That's for sure. Okay, so my supernatural story time is actually going to be a client story time. We're going to keep this anonymous. Okay, so not that long ago, I'm doing house calls now because I don't have a space anymore. I don't know if I want a space. I don't know where the next direction for me is yet, where I'm going to live, where I'm going to practice. I have no idea. Everything's in the air, but it's like a fabulous feeling at the same time. So much freedom to just be able to just go, I'm leaving. Okay. So I'm doing house calls now. And I went to a regular client's house for the first time. He used to come to me. I go to his house. Now, this particular client is in the paranormal scene. So he does paranormal investigations. And he has someone that goes with him to these paranormal investigations. So the first time me and him met, I was doing an infection removal, which is when you're going somewhere naughty you should not be, and you get an entity attachment on you because you should not have been there. And this is why I do paranormal conventions, because I'm usually cleaning somebody. Okay. And I also don't watch any paranormal shows, even though I love paranormal. I do not watch them because they can get on you. So anyways, he said, I'm going to bring you some clients. And I did a whole day of clients at his house. He invited 5 people. So this is me there 6 hours. We're back to back to back clients. It was lovely. The last person I had, he said, you're going to be very interested by this particular individual. Now, why do you think he said that? That is because the person that had came in had an experience, and we're going to get into that right now. So within her experience, this is something I never knew could happen. Let me precursor this. I've seen so many things that I didn't know could happen, but that I've read about, or that I've heard other people have, or I've heard stories of. And so when it actually happened in my scope, in my circle for me to work on or heal or clear or whatever the case is, it kind of didn't seem so crazy because I knew it existed. Okay. So from like people instantaneously jumping off my table and vomiting or diarrhea or, convulsing or speaking languages or tongues or even like devils showing up, demons showing up. I have seen this. I have helped move this. So this is not bizarre to me. Um, People say this, and with anything energetic, if you open something, you just need to make sure that you're asking your guides, your team, to be with you for your highest and greatest good, highest and greatest healing, highest and greatest protection, and you'll be fine. Okay. So she starts telling me about how there was a house across the street that she was looking to purchase. While she was looking to purchase this house across the street, she had went in, and now this part wasn't surprising to me, the her experience of what happens when she goes in, but what surprised me was how it happened. She went in, and the house felt negative energy. There was a lot of density in the house. And suddenly, as she was walking through the house, looking through the house, she started to feel claws coming across her chest and her back. And she started to feel searing, like embers, inside of her chest, inside of her uterus, inside of her throat. And then she started to see and hear growling and what's the word, like not just growling but like snarling. I think that's the word I'm looking for. She started to hear like snarling happening there, and then she started to have like shadows come at her inside while she's inside the house. And then something negative happened to her where she felt like she was violated by the entity internally. And I'm not going to use the word because the other word is triggering, but she is violated internally. And this really jarred her. It would jar anyone. I didn't even know that part could happen. So she goes to her therapist, her mental therapist, and she starts explaining this experience to the therapist, because now, after this experience, several weeks have went by and she can no longer urinate. She can't empty her bladder. She feels like she's all like something's just eating at her from the inside. And the therapist, being an intuitive therapist, which I was like astounded when I heard this part. You have an intuitive therapist? These people exist in the world? That's amazing. And the therapist starts to tell her that she has an entity attachment. And the talk therapist, starts to remove the entity attachment from her. And it was attached to her heart. It was attached to her womb. It was attached to her bladder. And she closes the field and releases the woman. Let's just call her Abigail. I don't know why we're going to use that name. We'll just call her Abigail or Aberdeen or something that sounds old-timey. She releases her from the entity attachment, closes and seals her up, and sends her home. And the woman, Abigail, is essentially kind of like, okay, since that day, I felt that nothing else was attached to me. However, in this moment, it's been weeks now. I still can't urinate and empty my bladder fully. And I feel something's still wrong with me. Enter me. Now we're sitting at the session. She's telling me this. And this happened when I touched her, which was new to me. And I have been in thousands of sessions at this point over the course of 10 years. I touched her with my hands. Did anybody see American Horror Story? How the beginning of that has that weird sound in the opening? It was like, and then like the flashes, like they would just do real quick pictures inside the opening of American Horror Story. It was kind of like that. It was like that. And as I say that, I could feel tension in my neck and my shoulders because it was pretty heavy work. I touched her and I started to see flashes of the exchange. I could see, Liz definitely knows what I'm talking about. I could see her lift her arm up, trying to protect herself from this entity that's violating her internally. and he was slashing at her, and I could see that. But simultaneously, while I'm visually seeing it, while touching her, my eyes are open. So this is just like a moment like that. Like I touch, and then boom, I'm witnessing. I can hear screaming, and on top of that, I can hear the dissonance of what's happening and feel the violation inside myself. I let her go. And for a split second, I wondered. Like less than half a second, I wondered, how am I going to take care of this? That was so intense. I didn't want to touch her again. Not because it scared me, but it was just a lot. So I put on my big girl pants, as I do. I called in my team, as I do. I surrendered it to them, as I do. And I touched her again. And when I touched her again, the images just kept flashing in, flashing in, flashing in. So that first space where she's protecting herself, I went to that arm, was the left arm. And I started touching it in here. And immediately after I stopped touching it, she went, wow, that felt amazing, like an internal massage, because she has scars. So what I'm witnessing is that she had no entity attachment, but what she had was an imprint of the scar. So the attachment itself actually created an imprint, which created trauma in the body. And the trauma in the body was actually perceiving it as it actually happened, like in real time. Right? Wow. So it's creeping. I'm sorry. It's pretty creepy. So now I move from place to place on her body, and I start to feel like I'm swallowing hot coal, like I am burning, I'm on fire. And I say out loud to her, and we did this whole session with the voice recording, so that she could have it for her record. And I'm telling her, this whole section of your throat is on fire. And she goes, yes, it is. So then I switched energies, and I put in lunar energy into here to cool it down. And so my fingers turned ice cold. And I remember on the recording, I said, okay, ice cold fingers now. And I placed my yin energy in. And this immediately took the heat out of her throat. One more place that had that intense heat that was on fire, and I felt it in my body, she felt it in her body, was her bladder and her uterus. So now I'm making my way, her throat chakra. Yes, if you think about it, closing her up, shutting her up. So I'm also walking her simultaneously on how to gain power over her body in this moment, because it's one thing to clear somebody, but if they don't know how to protect themselves again, then they're not feeling empowered. They just came to you and you did it for them, right? Kind of like a doctor. Like if you're sick, you're like, damn, I don't know what to do. I guess I have to just rely on the doctor. So in this case, I'm showing her where she has divots in her energy. So when we have vulnerabilities, it divots inside, or it can be an actual break. And I'm teaching her how to push the energy and repair the divots and how to feel the divots. And then there was one part of between her back shoulder blades that I heard intuitively, okay, she's too weak for that. And then she says out loud, I can't push it out. So then I had to walk her very step by step, very formally right through until she can get that part of her back out energetically. So we are ultimately creating a very strong aura so that nothing can come back in. Nothing can bypass the aura. So now I go to her uterus and her bladder. And what happens? I go there, and that's where the most trauma is. And when I look at it energetically, I'm still seeing it as a picture, and not just in my mind's eye. My eyes are not closed. It's like if someone took a card and just put the card in front of your face. I'm right behind the card. I'm right here. Like reality is happening, but your visual field is witnessing the card in front of me. Okay. So I'm witnessing her trauma in the house next to the stairs. And I can see actual scars inside of the uterus and actual scars in the bladder. And she's telling me at this point, I have gone to every single type of doctor. No one can find anything. It's been several weeks. I can't use the bathroom. They're going to check me for cancer, and they're going to put that thing in me to check me for cancer. And when she said that thing in me, the camera, but that goes internal to check you. she started reacting to her trauma because, again, this is a violation of her yoni, of her womanhood, of her sacred temple, her cave, her sacred cave. And I'm telling her out loud, I said, you don't have an entity, but what you do have, I'm going to express as this. Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. Is this. It looks like when there's a white carpet and you spill wine on the white carpet, the wine, even though it's dry, the residue is there, spilled on the carpet, stained. So the original wine glass, the wine bottle was removed, but the stain is still there. And she looks at me and she says, she gets teary because she felt understood and heard. And she starts telling me, I have been describing it like an oil spill on fabric to people. So she was describing it the same way I was describing it in her own words. Something that you couldn't get off, an oil stain on fabric. So what happens is I witness the beings that I work with, and I do call them entities as an umbrella word. Some people think that entities is a negative word. It is not. It's just an umbrella word. The same way as divine does not mean benevolent. Divine is divine. There is divine light, divine shadow, divine benevolent, divine malevolent. So just to clarify, loud cars. Just to clarify. So I saw them working on her, and there's a particular thing that they work through me with, which is a type of energetic surgery that they work through me with. And basically they started scraping out her bladder, removing all the energetic scarification. This is what I'm witnessing. I'm not actually doing anything. I'm just being present. I'm a door. She's the permission to come in, and I'm just witnessing. So I'm witnessing the scarification start to be scraped off little by little by little by little, like a energetic scalpel. So they clear that whole thing off. And then what happens immediately after is I see this type of this is the way I see it. It's almost like a topical gel, but for your energy field. And it's a purple gel. And I just call it purple gel. And it's kind of like an antibiotic or something energetic wise. And I see them put the purple gel inside into the bladder and into the kidneys. Into the uterus. And then I see them stitch her up. Stitch, 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 stitch. All the meanwhile, when I'm working on someone to this capacity, I am feeling what they're feeling in their body. Their body, I'm mirroring their body. You have pain, an extreme pain, I'm going to tell you where it's at. Not because I'm guessing, but because it is in my body and I am feeling it in my physical somatic body as if it were happening to me. So I am feeling being stitched up. So I'm wincing while I'm working on her. I'm wincing. And she's getting stitched up. So I teach her how to shield. I teach her how to protect herself. And then when she comes back to the session, I explained to her she had no entity. And this is what we did. These are the steps we took. These are the measures that happened. So she looks vibrant, bright. Her energy, she has color back in her face. You could tell her worry is already off her body. And she says, okay, I'm going to go use the bathroom. I said, fine. I didn't think nothing of this. This is normal. You get a session. You were there for an hour. You go to the bathroom. She goes to the bathroom, comes back, says to me with a big gleaming smile on her face, I just peed. And it didn't dawn on me what she was saying. Like it didn't click. And then she goes, this is the first time that I empty my bladder since the attack happened. The very first time. So after about 8 weeks or so, she was able to empty her bladder out and was healed and better. So what happens is she took the recording of our session and took it back to the therapist. And then the therapist called me and said thank you for validating the experience of the therapist, because she was working the entity off, and that her client, now being weeks later, was still feeling so much better, didn't have any more problems with incontinence or not being able to empty her bladder out fully, and wanted a session with me. So I go to that house, and while I was working on her, the client, the therapist, my freaking brain, I'm telling you right now, like, this was beautiful. First of all, she has arthritis. When I tell you, when I was hovering my hands over this woman and I saw the entities come in and start giving her surgery, I'm glad I wasn't filming it. There are some sessions I will film if it's for like a doctor or as a scientist client, because they love this kind of stuff. Analyze it. We did not film this session. We audio recorded it. So while I'm working on her, I see them start to break her hands, joint by joint, joint by joint, joint by joint. But what's happening in real time, my hand is hovering. You can't see it. I'll just use this hand. My hand is hovering over her. This hand, which is actually in real time, it's the opposite hand. It's actually this hand, but because the mic's in the way, this hand is actually being broken in real time in my physical body. I am feeling in my physical body, my hand being broken, falling to the ground on my knees, hovering my hand over her while I'm feeling my whole freaking hand breaking all the way up to like here, to my forearm. I felt it breaking all the way up to my forearm. And my face, I will tell you, my face was so tight, so wince. I'm just in agony. And I'm trying to breathe through it. I'm breathing through it. I'm breathing through it. And then the therapist says there was a heightened moment of pain in her hands, that she didn't understand why that was happening, because it had been a long time since that had happened to her. And I said, that's because that was the moment that your hand was breaking and my hand was breaking. So I actually physically felt it. And then she received a bunch of surgeries. I think she received around 9. So I won't be surprised when later on or tomorrow she's feeling the sutures. Because once you get the psychic surgery, you can actually, a lot of people report back, and I actually have a story time from 2 seasons ago where Dr. MD Hannah had a surgery, psychic surgery with me, because she had heard of me and was in disbelief and got it done and became a believer. But yeah, so she did that. And it was beautiful. And there was a lot of healing that transpired. The therapist story was secondary. It was very recent. So I can't really say what's the outcome of that. But she did say after her session, when she expressed herself, that she was very energized, elevated, and super blissed out from the energy. So she was feeling high. And that she's going to definitely call me back in August when I come back, because there's something to the session that she received today. And it was an experience that she's never had. So I thought that was beautiful. I wanted to share that today. I was thinking about what am I going to share if my guest doesn't show up. I had a feeling, I guess. And so, yeah, if you have any questions, throw that in the comment section below. I would like to know what your questions are around that, or any thoughts. I would love to know that as well. So, yeah, that's me in a nutshell. We're going to take a little quickie commercial break here, and then we're going to come right back. And yeah, that's pretty much the meat and potatoes. We'll be right back. I am your hostess, Dominique Rivera, the Oracle of Apollo. If you see me in the street, shout me out. Oracle, please. Thank you. And I am a Reiki Master, Integrated Energy Therapy Master Instructor, Trance Medium, and a Pitya, which means basically Shaman or High Priestess. And I am talking about my supernatural experiences with my people that I've worked on. I blend a lot of different techniques together. I blend in shamanism, I blend in Reiki, I blend in something that I'm currently working on, and I would like to publish this by next year. So I'm working on it. Car harmonic convergence, violet flame. What else? Just so many different things, but mostly trans medium. Can you do psychic surgery for any diseases? Okay, so when it comes to health, legally, I cannot say that I can do anything because I'm not a doctor. Have I worked on psychic surgery for diseases for people and have had good results? Yes. However, I will say that the preparedness of where you're at in your life in any type of healing is up to you. So if you guys have been following me a while, you know that I had a disability. It was called posterior orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. And for about 10 years, this kind of plagued my life and I wasn't able to really take care of me. And I went to all of these places of healing and worship to try to figure out how to circumvent this, because basically the doctors just kind of gave up on me. They had there was just nothing else that they could do for my condition. And so I went and took it into my own hands. And so these techniques that I have adapted from these places have been from these places. And this is why it's important to me to continue to go to sacred places of worship, because your soul recognizes information that your conscious mind doesn't. And then you can actually pull that into you and then adapt to it and then use it for healing purposes. So I would say no legally, but yes, I've seen it happen. And yes, I have done it. Let's see, there have been things where a man came in and he had an enlarged liver and he had a lot of pain for a lot of years. And I think it was about 11 years of nonstop pain. We did a psychic surgery. And years later, I talked to his friend who I wanted to bump into the street, and he was still perfectly fine, brand new. I've seen people just over time. I can't find a doctor to help me with POTS. You get it. And there's different severities to the POTS. So yeah, this was a slow process. Working through the POTS was a very slow process. It took me years of working through the POTS constantly, every day, to get through it. So I absolutely understand. And this is why I teach. And speaking of teaching, I will be hosting an integrated energy therapy course in October in Pennsylvania. And I know there's people going to be flying in. So I will definitely be putting up dates very shortly for that. I'm going to put it on my website. I'm going to put it on the Oracle of Apollo Facebook page as well. And you guys will have stuff on my TikTok about it. And I'm also teaching Reiki Level 1 in September. So if you're also in Pennsylvania, you want to do that with me, I will definitely be back from the world, from Europe by then, to teach you guys that. And learning something is better than just doing something. Doing will help the beginning process. But I'd rather teach you how to do it for yourself than have it to keep coming back to me or another practitioner to rely on it. Because long as you're doing the work continuously, you'll get to where you need to go. And that's the gist of that. All right. So yeah, I've also had a doctor from China come here, and doctor who practiced Chinese medicine for 20 years to come see me and get a session by me. And she felt that the freaking 15 or 20 years that she was doing therapy resolved in one session. Is this typical? No, but it happens. And I remember that session kind of being like one of my very first scary sessions, because I didn't know what was happening to her. She started screaming at the top of her lungs and contorting. This was the first time I saw an extreme somatic release years and years and years ago. But she's a wonderful human, and I appreciate her so much. Hey, Jamie, nice to see you. I think I'm actually going to see you in a few minutes, right? On Whole Living Show. Oh, and I will be actually in a few minutes on another show here on the E360 TV network. If you're not on e360tv.com, you can check it on Facebook. Whole Living Show is going to be a few of us women panel, and we're going to be talking about some wonderful holistic practices and things. And Jamie is definitely going to be on there too. So yeah, the work you did on me years ago, I didn't even know I was healing slowly, but I'm healing. Yes. Oh, that's so beautiful. You know, it's like everything is cumulative. You get a session done and then it starts to unfold and you start to see how that takes you somewhere and that takes you somewhere. And every type of healing you get done adds. It's never just like whatever the last thing was. It's just adds and adds and adds and adds. On YouTube, question mark. On YouTube, I think it would just be called the Whole Living Show, WHOLE Living Show. We're going to be jumping into topics there. Jamie, if I'm wrong, let me know. We're going to be jumping in right now into the midweek collective energy check-in, of course, and let you all know at home what's happening for the forecast of the midweek. Oh, and one more announcement from me. I am officially going to be a columnist for the Trajectory TV magazine, brand new. So I'm super happy about that. And I will be writing an article every month to help you guys navigate life. And it's going to be called Written in the Stars. So I hope you guys come and check that out too. And I'm super excited to be officially in this magazine. And yeah, I love it. Love it. Beautiful things moving all around. Let's jump into Week Collective. All right, we're in now. And hey, Jen, I see you in the back room. We're actually at the top of the hour. I'm going to just do this real quick reading, and then maybe you can give a final thought right here for the end of the show. I think we got our timelines crossed, and that is okay. All right, real quick here, switching cams. Bam. For the collective, Six of Abundance, heaven opens up its loving arms and pours abundance into you. Whoop, whoop. An unexpected gift is on its way. Accept it with gratitude and humility, knowing that you'll have a chance to return it, the generosity, by giving to others in the future. Consider volunteering for charitable organization. Welcome the new. Things are shifting. And if you're trying to force something to happen, make sure that you are detaching from forcing anything to happen, because that creates blocks. Make sure you just show up. Show up to what it is. Let go of expectations. Let go of how things should turn out, and show the real you. But most importantly, if you would like great love in your world, make the effort. Great love is worth taking steps that you are guided to take, and make sure that you are doing that from a detached point. That does not mean I don't care. It just means that I am not attached to the outcome necessarily. And if it goes this way or that way, I'm still happy. I'm still loving myself. Life is still beautiful. All right. So if that resonates with you, let me know in that comment section below. I'm going to bring Miss Jen on. Hey, how are you?
Hi, love. I'm great. How are you?
You look radiant.
So do you. You're
Thank
glowing.
you. I think we got our wires crossed today, but we have about 6 minutes. So I would love for you to share whatever you want to share in that time, and I'm just going to give it to you.
Cool. Well, I'm actually grateful that we had our times crossed, because I've had quite the day and quite the week. It's been really interesting. And I'm so grateful that I popped in when you were doing that reading, because it's exciting. I feel like that is what people need to tune into, is the magic of life, and connect with the cards and connect with the energies that they're sharing with us, and allow ourselves to detach and live just a magical experience. So I love what you're doing. I think it's so important. And I think it's so interesting, because you and I were supposed to connect, I think, a couple months ago.
Yes.
And then we had like major sickness in our family, and I couldn't connect with you. And the timing is always just so perfect and beautiful, because so much has happened from that time frame until now, where it just makes me even more confident that the work that you're doing and the work that other light warriors are doing is just really so hugely important right now. We have so many people that are living very stressed and, trying to go through their lives by overeating or over drinking, or, just completely out of alignment and not even knowing what that means, when we stay
I
out of
feel like my
alignment.
big question for you today at the end of this show, the one I want to ask you is how to live a magical life. That is the question that's being poured into
Mm,
me to ask you. How do we live a magical life?
that's a great question. And I think the way that we do it is by unprogramming ourselves, which is difficult. It really is. We've been raised to believe certain things, we've been raised to think certain ways about the world and about life. And I think the key to living a magical life is what you just shared in that reading, detaching from all of it, just accepting that we are all on our own journey of self and everything is happening for us, exactly as it should, exactly when it should. And it's all a beautiful gift. It's really, I think it's unprogramming. I think that is the way we do it.
The unbecoming.
Yes. And the
I feel
remembering, it really is a remembering. Unprogramming sounds so harsh, but that's kind of the easier way to explain it to people. But then when they do start doing that, we can explain it in a way of a remembering. And then they know, what we're talking about. We are remembering why we came here. We're remembering how amazing this life experience is and all of the beautiful gifts that we're given every single day.
this is true. And to let the importance of letting go of the story of how something happened or how something didn't happen or how
Mm,
could that have changed, because in the letting go of those stories is where we really find our true power. And letting go is the act of forgiveness as well.
mm,
So all this unbecoming just always leads us back to our truest, most authentic version of who we're meant to be, and the expression of that.
mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. It's beautiful. It's such a beautiful, it's a beautiful experience, when people tune into that, because it releases a lot of the heaviness, because we're not supposed to know everything. And if things don't work out the way that we thought they were going to, that's okay. That we're just humans. How are we supposed to know the bigger picture of everything that is being laid out for us in our journey?
We don't. We definitely don't.
Mm-hmm.
As a divorce mediation person,
Mm,
so you must
yes.
deal a lot with grief. And what is your best tip for moving through grief?
Mm. I coach all of my clients through their grief, through their sadness, through, all of the heavy emotions that accompany divorce, by sharing with them, it is in our darkest times that we are given the greatest opportunities to grow. And that is represented by, a baby in his or her mother's womb. It's dark in there. That's where the growth happens. A seed in the earth, that's where growth happens. And then the best parallel that I always share with my clients is the caterpillar in the cocoon. It's dark in there. It's completely dark. And that's a perfect parallel for divorce. It's like you're no longer the caterpillar of your old life that used to be, where everything made sense. You're not yet the butterfly of what you're going to become from going through this very difficult time. You're in this space. And the best way, to navigate through that space is self-care and self-love, and giving yourself a tremendous amount of grace, and shifting your beliefs to, a space of what we just talked about. Everything is happening exactly as it should, exactly when it should, and it's all perfect, and it's all divine, and it's all going to be okay. You're going to look back on this and be like, oh, that had to happen at that point in time, because if it didn't, I wouldn't have done this or that, or met this person, or gone there. And it all makes sense at the end, and it is all beautiful. It's just when we're in it, people kind
We
of
get
lose it
stuck
a
in our
little
story.
bit.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. We need to
Jen,
get rid of
thank
our
you so much.
stories.
It's true. Thank you
Thank
so much for
you.
popping in. Brief but beautiful. I
Love
appreciate you,
you.
sister. Keep doing the work that you're doing to enhance the collective. And for you guys at home, thank you so much for tuning in. Let's wrap up this show with my final thoughts. And of course, we only do that con mucho amor. Do you or someone you know experience something supernatural that has left a positive impact on yourself or the lives of others? Want to share your story on our show? Please email Divine Encounters at e360tv.com. And together, let's create divine experiences. And now, the Oracle's final thoughts con mucho amor. So what if everything that's happening for us while we're in the spaces of darkness is happening for us? What if all of those things that we think are happening against us are actually pushing us into a direction that we never thought we could achieve had we not been pushed across that edge to begin with? Momentum starts with small steps. And when the penny rolls downhill and picks up speed, can be scary as hell. However, does it lose value because it gets chipped on the route down? Or maybe at the bottom of the hill, there's a whole nother collective of pennies just waiting to be an insurmountable amount of pennies coming into the deepest wealth of self. I hope you guys go out there and discover more of you, encounter more. I dare you. And above all else, may you all go in love, light, and wisdom to know thyself, love thyself, and remember that divine always has your back. Tune in to the whole living show on e360tv.com. We're going to jump into some very illuminated conversations, and check me back out Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you to all of you. Ciao. See you in Europe. Do you or someone you know?
Everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life feels so much, just hold on. Just hold on.